Welcome to Uncle Bob's Magic Cabinet, a mother-daughter podcast on all things magic and pop culture.
Three, 2, 1.
And we're on.
We're on.
Ho, ho, ho.
Happy ho, ho, ho.
Hey everyone, I'm Leigh, I'm the daughter.
I'm Lori, I'm the mom.
Merry Christmas, bitches.
Merry Christmas.
Or if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Whatever
happy
you celebrate.
Yule, whatever you celebrate.
Happy whatever you celebrate.
That is correct. All encompassing.
Are you excited? So we're not filming this on Christmas Day. Obviously, we're filming it like
this
a little bit
episode
before.
drops Christmas Day.
Right.
Awesome.
But what are you excited for Christmas?
What am I excited? I'm always excited for Christmas.
Are you?
Yeah. What I'm not excited about is this ugly sweater you put me in. I'm just
Okay.
going to bring that up right now.
So
right now.
we decided, like, it just worked out that we had an episode dropping on Christmas, and I was like, oh, we have to get, like, ugly Christmas sweaters. And so the funny thing is you like animals, but you're not, like, a pet person per se.
Mm-mm.
So I picked one out for you that has dogs and cats, and weirdly one sloth in Christmas hats with bells and...
Yeah, I see that you're wearing a sweater that, although ugly, is somewhat cool, and it says
Hey.
Slee.
Okay, so it says sleigh on it, like, with a bunch of H's, like, sleigh, you know, like, sleigh girl. But when I brought it home, she's like, it says your name. It says Slee. Slee. So now I'm really excited. Slee girl. That's a new catchphrase. So I'm starting it.
Slee girl. New band name.
So now I'm excited that I have a sweater with my name on it.
Yeah. So I like how you picked that one for yourself.
I didn't. Jake picked it. First of all, it's ugly. It has a raccoon on it that's wearing sunglasses and a fucking Christmas hat.
It's the I'm so ugly, I'm cool.
Okay,
and this is, do you want me to be single for the rest of my life?
First of all, it's about your attitude. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm cool and I make this sweater cool. If you just have the attitude of this sweater's cool as it'll be cool as fuck.
The crazy cat lady. And
No,
you know what?
don't. It has a pug in the center.
And it's fucking got jingle bells all over it.
Well,
and
it's Christmas.
you hear that? You hear that? All I
That's
needed
her.
was a lace collar, and I'd be and a handkerchief coming out of my sleeve, and there you go, single. For the rest of my natural born days.
You're being a little bit of a Scrooge. Hey, roof thatchers, don't judge her by her cats and jingle bells.
This will never be worn again. I can tell you that. One thing,
you know what? I'll take it after you're done. I'm gonna wear it.
Are you?
Yeah, and I'll show you how cool it is.
Okay. One thing I can say is that it's either the sweatshirt is extremely warm or this hot toddy that Jake whipped us up is very warm because, whew,
So,
girl.
we, here at Uncle Bob's, me and Laura like to, drink some, we like to get in the spirit before we film an episode.
This hot toddy is getting me in the spirit.
Is it?
Yeah. One more and I'm going to be putting a lampshade on my head and
that
belting out show
will
tunes.
really go well with your Christmas sweater.
I can belt out some Christmas carols.
Some Christmas carols.
Because we were just listening to Christmas carols.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
My favorite, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Is it?
It is.
I know mine right off the bat.
I mean, I know mine right off the bat, but it's Father Christmas by the Kinks.
That's a fucking good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, if you like a fuck you Christmas and like a rock version of a Christmas carol, that's the one for you.
Yes, I love that one.
My
and yours?
favorite is Step Into Christmas by Elton John.
Yes.
I fucking love that song. It's so good.
It's so good.
It just makes me happy
Yeah.
and feel all fuzzy inside, kind of like this hot toddy.
Yeah. It is a toss-up, though, because I love Christmas in New York by the Pogues.
Hey, that's a good one, too.
Yeah.
You like kind of the like fuck you ones.
Fuck you. Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah. But traditionally, if we're going albums, Nat King Cole's Christmas.
Okay. Hey, I didn't
and
say what
Elvis.
are your top 20.
I
said
know,
what
I
is
know.
your
You
favorite
said
Christmas song?
Right, and I got to go. The Kinks.
The Kinks. All right.
It's always been.
Kinks, Elton John. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So we picked some holiday-ish
Yes.
topics.
We saved the best
guys.
for last. Our very favorites.
Our very
Personal.
favorites is what we did.
There's been some goodies. There has been some goodies.
I feel like we got in the fucking spirit this year.
I think we did.
I don't know. I liked it.
But this is what I'm talking about today is my absolute favorite Christmas movie.
What I'm talking about, okay, now we're going to talk about this. What I'm talking about today is my favorite Halloween movie.
Oh, yes.
However, my lovely husband over there, fact check Jake.
Fact check Jake.
And a huge portion of the world considers this a Christmas movie. So I decided, fuck it.
You're going to do it at
I'll
Christmas.
ride the wave and I'll fucking do it for Christmas, bitch.
Yeah. It's a good Christmas one.
It is. So you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
Tell the world.
Because I see Jack Skellington blanketing. So it's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm talking about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Because that is your all-time favorite.
It is. I love it. I love it so much. It's magical. All right, you ready to get into it?
I am.
Let me take a sip of my hot tot.
Take a sip of your hot toddy.
Okay, earlier I was drinking it through a cinnamon stick, but then it got clogged and I choked on a little bit of cinnamon. So now I've moved to a regular straw.
Yeah, that was a burst of cinnamon.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
It was almost a Christmas nightmare, but it's fine. All right, so Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Get there. I want you to get in the fucking zone.
We're in the zone, Chief.
Okay, put your Christmas hats on and maybe get out a pumpkin.
Ugly
I don't know.
fucking Christmas sweaters.
Okay, you know, I'm really sensing some anger from that side of the room. Okay, this is a 1993. Good year. I would say the best year because that's when I graced the world with my presence.
There you go. The
Good year.
birth of Slee.
The birth of Slee. I like that for me. I like this.
I like it.
It is a stop motion animated dark fantasy musical Disney film. So drink that in.
I'm drinking it.
All of the good things in one.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
The story and characters are by Tim Burton, and we talked about Tim Burton a little bit when I did Beetlejuice. I did want to say some stuff, since we have talked about that, has kind of come out. It seems like he might be kind of a piece of shit. We obviously do not agree with that. However, his art and what he has contributed, I still think is obviously magical and deserves to be talked about. So we're going to separate art from artist here. Just to keep that in mind. It was directed by Henry Selick.
Nice.
And the screenplay was by Carolyn Thompson. And here's the Holy Grail. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Music by Danny fucking Elfman.
Danny fucking Elfman.
I feel like we've talked about Danny Elfman a lot, but like not really.
Well, I feel like besides Ennio Morricone, he's probably done every freaking soundtrack or score.
Who's the guy
score,
that did
not
fucking
soundtrack.
Star Wars?
John Williams.
He's
And
done
if we're talking
every-
about composers, Howard Shore is
Howard
the
Shore.
fucking goat.
Ennio
Right.
Morricone. There we
But
go.
I will, and I'm not just saying this, every time I'm watching a movie, whether it's, it's mostly older movies, and I'm like, wow, I really like the music, and I'll look it up, and I'm like, fucking Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
There you are again.
From Oingo Boingo fame.
From Oingo Boingo fame. I love him. And I love his music.
Yeah.
Like, he's fantastic.
Awesome.
So we're going to get into it. The cast, obviously, it's voices, right? Danny Elfman is the singing voice of Jack Skellington, and Chris Sarandon is the speaking voice of Jack Skellington, who is the main character. Catherine O'Hara is Sally, and we know her from obviously Beetlejuice and Home Alone, but also
Schitt's Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
There you go.
Baby. I'm sorry, I can't. She's fantastic in that.
I
You
know.
haven't watched it yet.
I have to watch it. Yeah.
And Ken Page as Oogie Boogie. And I love Oogie Boogie. Obviously, there's like a million characters in this movie, so I know you all don't want to hear me butcher every single name.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to give you. That's what you get.
What you get.
Okay, so I'm sure most of you have seen this movie, but I'm not really sure.
I don't know.
Sometimes I don't know. I feel like there's a very specific crowd of people who have seen this movie and who love this movie, and then there's a whole other side of the world that's like, no,
What's
I've never
that?
seen it. What's
Yeah.
that? So here's the rundown. It opens with an aerial view of a ring of trees, each with a special looking door. And we realize that they're all for like holidays. So one has an Easter egg, one has a turkey, which who the fuck would pick that door? One has a heart.
One has a shamrock.
One has a shamrock.
I've always wanted them to open that door.
And every time we watch it, I'm like, Lore, what would you pay to open that fucking shamrock door?
That's right. Big bucks. Big bucks.
Your soulmate could be waiting in that shamrock door. I literally dream, I'm not even kidding, and have dreamed about what is in those other doors. And I want someone to make like them opening those other doors so bad. There's a narrator a little bit. And he says, you've probably wondered where holidays come from. If not, I'd say it's time you begun. And they close up on the pumpkin tree, which, thank God.
You want a pumpkin tree.
That's a tree I really wanted to see in. And the door swings open. And instantly, like I said, it's a musical. There's a sign that says Halloween Town, and there's a big song called This is Halloween. And it's like introducing you to this town called Halloween Town. And all of the characters inside it. So there's witches and skeletons and ghosts and goblins and vampires. Anything weird lives in this Halloween town, right? Kind of like, hey, you know your other favorite movie, Halloween Town?
Debbie Reynolds does not make an appearance in this one.
Hey, wouldn't it be funny if she did? Wouldn't it be funny if like halfway through the movie,
I'm Debbie.
She's like, and what's up, fucking bitches? It's Debbie Reynolds. I'm here again.
I'm here.
Oh my gosh. So like I said, the song This is Halloween is introducing you to the cast of characters. If you were into spooky shit as a kid or an adult, this had me hooked. I was oh shit.
Yeah.
It's a good tune. I, side note, listen to this soundtrack all year round.
All the time.
It's so good.
Yep.
So at the very end of the song, we are introduced to Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, and he's like the leader of Halloween Town. Okay.
He's the king.
He's the king, man. He is a tall, lanky skeleton, and I love his dapper little black and white pinstriped suit.
Yep.
And I love he has a bat bow tie.
I know, it's so cute.
If you haven't seen what Jack Skellington looks like,
I can't imagine that anybody has, even if you haven't watched the movie. I mean, the stuff is like everywhere.
Yeah, Disney has really like... At first, I feel like you never saw it included in Disney stuff, but lately they've really been kind of taking it under there.
Yeah, because when you first started watching this, it was not a big deal.
No, they were like, sweep that under the rug.
Shove that under the carpet.
I know. But I always wanted Jack Skellington's bat bow tie, and I still do. So if you know of one, hit me up. Basically, he's hot in Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Halloween has just ended. And it's time to start prepping for next Halloween. So basically, like all of us around here, the second Halloween ends, it's like, all right, well,
we're already prepping for next year.
Start counting down till next Halloween. That's like literally my life.
Oh, yeah.
However, Jack wanders off with his ghost dog named Zero. And I always said I will have a dog named Zero. I don't care if a lot of people have done that. I will do it.
My hero, Zero.
My hero, Zero. And we realize that Jack is very unhappy.
He's sad.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So even though everyone loves him, he is sad and he's sick of his life in the same old routine. And I think it's the best song in the whole film. He explains his point of view through the song Jack's Lament and talks about how he's really unhappy. And even though, he's got fame and praise, he's lonely, basically. And he's not liking his life.
Yeah.
A great example of why Danny Elfman is the fucking man. So as he is singing, we see a girl watching him. So she's going to come into play here. Her name is Sally. She is a rag doll that was created by Docker.
He's a docker.
He's a docker. Created by Dr. Finkelstein. He's like the town scientist. I don't know what you would call him.
The mad scientist.
I think he's a fucking creep. But he created Sally. So she's literally like sewn together different pieces of.
Oh, you know what? It's funny.
People.
I'm drinking out of my Christmas Vacation mug, and he was in Christmas Vacation. He was Uncle Lewis.
Oh my God, he was Uncle Lewis.
Yes.
That sets his toupee on fire.
Clink, dude. All right.
The 7 degrees. Is it the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 7? We always get
I
it confused.
believe it's 6. I always say 7.
Okay, so
I want to go for that extra degree.
The 6-7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Okay, Dr. Finkelstein isn't very nice to Sally. She's basically there to like wait on him. We don't like him, but Sally, I love Sally.
She's cool.
Meanwhile, Jack has completely wandered off, and he ends up stumbling upon the Circle of Doors, which I've seen this movie way too many times, and I've thought about it way too much, and I'm like, but how?
How have you never seen these doors before?
How have you never seen these doors before? Wouldn't you have had to stumble outside of the pumpkin door? But you know what? I'm thinking about this too.
You're going too deep.
Am I going too deep?
Yeah.
They didn't think about it that much. Okay. Anyway, he stumbles upon the circles of doors, and he's intrigued by the one with the Christmas tree on it. He's like, what is that?
Shiny,
sparkly.
shiny things.
And he opens it, and him and Zero get swooped down. I think Zero gets swooped down. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Minor detail. He falls in, and he lands in a pile of snow. And he looks around the town, and he's literally like, what the is this? And the song is called What's This?
What's this?
And it's all about, like, so he falls into, it's called Christmas Town. He walks into a sign that says Christmas Town, and the whole song is about, like, what's this? I've never seen snow. Why does everyone look so happy? Everyone's alive. Nothing's dead.
Color.
There's so much color. Everybody's happy and singing, and they're cozy, and it's like everything that Halloween Town is not.
Right.
Because it is so different and alive, he thinks that this is the answer to his problems. So flash to Sally. She is grabbing her herb jar full of deadly nightshade
Yes.
and slipping some into Dr. Finkelstein's soup.
Yes.
She covers up the odor with frog's breath, and he mentions that the soup is wormwort.
Yes.
Okay, so obviously, like, Sally is into some herbs.
Yeah.
Okay,
She's a little witchy.
she's a little witchy. Jack and Zero return to Halloween Town with a bag full of goodies, and Jack says they need to hold a town meeting ASAP. And everyone's so excited because they were like worried about Jack because he's
He
the
disappeared. BMOC.
is that big?
Big man on campus.
He's the BMOC, the big man on campus. Yes. Okay, so Sally is able to sneak out to go to the town meeting after Finkelfart is what I call him. Finkelfart passes out from the deadly nightshade that she slipped in his soup because he doesn't like let her out of the house.
Right.
Right. So at the meeting, Jack tries to explain the magic that he just stumbled upon in Christmas Town. But because they can't understand.
Right. Because they're happy.
They're happy in Halloween Town.
Yeah, they like their town.
And so every time he's like, they have boxes wrapped in, gift wrap and bows, and they're like, oh, do you open it up and it's dead?
Yeah, it's a head.
It's a dead rat. Like
Right.
they like the spooky things because they're in Halloween Town, so they don't get what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So
They're not seeing his vision.
no, so he morphs Christmas Town into something spooky, renaming Santa Claus Sandy Claus, and like makes the tale a little more spooky sounding so that they can understand. But Jack is sad about this because they aren't getting the picture and they're not getting what was so magical about Christmas Town. Also, Sally is like, the f*** are you talking about? She's not buying what he's selling, basically.
Right.
So that comes into play. So Jack heads back to his house and he studies Christmas in hopes of finding a way to explain it to the town and his friends. So he starts doing experiments and he studies holly berries under a microscope and he drops candy canes and acid and he's like
crumples them up. Yeah.
It's really cute.
It is. Yeah. Because he's trying to figure out the magic. Yeah. He's trying to figure out the magic. Yeah.
I love that. Meanwhile, Sally is cooking. Dip, dip, dip.
She's cooking up some.
She's cooking up something special. She's pouring herbs and whatnot into a bottle, and then she jumps out of the window. I love that scene. So she hops out of the window, and all of her pieces fall apart.
Yeah.
But then she like gathers them back up and sews herself
Takes
back
a needle
together.
and thread and
what an interesting like metaphor for
puts
that.
herself back together.
I know. She quite literally sews herself back
the
together.
strong silent type.
The strong woman. she takes the bottle to Jack, and when he opens it, a cute little butterfly like pops out.
I think she's flirting with Jack.
I think she likes Jack.
I think she likes him.
The equivalent of batting her eyelashes at him. Hello.
Hello, Betty.
I know. She's flirting with Jack via magic.
Yeah.
It's very cute. So Sally is sitting outside of his house because she doesn't want to go back home. And she starts pulling petals from a flower and has a vision that Jack's Christmas fantasy will not end up great.
It's not going to go well.
It's not going to go well. She basically, she's playing with the flower and it turns into a really pretty Christmas tree. And she's like, ooh, but then it catches on fire. So it's basically telling her,
burn this motherfucker down.
This ain't going to end well. Yeah, abort mission.
Abort.
Jack has a little song, a little musical number called What Does It Mean? Where he's studying Christmas and trying to, visually see the magic. But he comes to the realization, I can't talk. The realization.
She's slurring her words.
The realization.
Have some more hot toddy.
I can't enunciate. It's a fucking hot toddy. It made my lips numb.
My lips are tingling.
Oh, shit. He says just because he cannot see it doesn't mean he can't believe it. And voila. I love that.
Yep.
And with that, he decides he is going to take over Christmas. He's like, why can't I fucking have some Christmas?
I'm going to be Sandy Claus.
I want to be Sandy Claus. Damn it. And Sally is sitting outside like, fucking bitch. What? No,
Dude.
This isn't going to end well.
We're not heeding my warning.
I know. So he has the townspeople help him. They make him reindeer. They craft presents. They make him a little Santa Claus costume. And they even kidnap Santa.
Yeah.
They don't hurt him.
Lock, shock, and barrel.
Yeah.
Cute.
They kidnap him. And they're like, you're going to take a little rest.
Yeah.
Jack's going to be Santa Claus.
Right.
It's not good.
That does not go well.
No. Sally tries to warn him of the vision. Oh, my God.
Girl.
The vision.
That's a new word. I can't even make something up about that. That's just new. Vision.
The vision. She warns him about the vision that she had of the fucking lit Christmas tree. Okay, but Jack's like, no, I want to be fucking Santa Claus. Get out of my face.
Step away.
Step away. I'm going to go drop presents off. But side note, they're like Halloween town presents.
Yes.
Okay, they're like scary. They're
Yeah.
not.
People are not in the Halloween mindset because it's December.
It's not time for you guys.
No.
It's time for Christmas. But in their mind, wrapping up like they turn a dead rat into a hat and they make creepy things that crawl after you and are bleeding and
Yeah. A severed foot, Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Stuff that would go well for Halloween.
Yeah.
So long story short, it doesn't fucking end well because of these creepy ass presents. All of the kids open their presents on Christmas Day and are scared to death because they're like, what the hell? Meanwhile, I'd be like, this is dope.
You're like, I love this.
Sign me up.
Well, good, because now you know what I got you for the holiday.
What, a rat hat?
A rat hat and a severed toe.
Ooh, no, not a toe. I don't know if I've ever said this on here, and I'm probably exposing something about myself that I shouldn't, but I'm terrified of feet.
Yes, you are.
Is that weird? Did that come from you?
I don't like feet. I'm not terrified of them, though.
I'm like,
I
have a problem.
They're not my favorite.
I don't like them.
I'm not terrified of them like you are, though.
Okay, well, there you go. There's a little tidbit about me.
There you go.
Okay, doesn't end well. Jack Skellington is, shot out of the sky. The police are called. Nobody's happy because Christmas has been ruined by these creepy Halloween toys.
It's a shit show.
It's a shit show, kind of like Sally motherfucking said it would be, but whatever, we'll ignore that.
He's terrified the children.
He has. He scared them.
Yeah.
Jack realizes, this shit, I'm the Pumpkin King.
I'm not Santa.
He's like, what the heck? I did my best, and now I'm going to go back and be the Pumpkin King.
Yeah. Let Santa clean up this show.
That was fun. I'm done now. He returns to Halloween Town, apologizes to Santa, and lets him go. He realizes that Sally is what he has been looking for. And they share a sweet moment on the snowy hill because Santa drives over Halloween Town and makes it snow for them. And
It's
there's
a love story.
It's a love story, and there's a really pretty song. I think it's called "Simply Meant to Be," or I don't know, but it's sweet, and that's the end of The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. So my lesson here, my little spiel, it's not a big one because it's just a good movie. Right.
It's cute.
But I did want to touch on the importance of Sally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so Sally is a witch, man. She's a total witch.
For sure.
And it's not talked about a lot.
No.
She is seen throughout the movie using herbs and potions. According to the book, are you fucking ready for this? People are going to like this. There is a book out there called Disney Astrology.
Really?
Where it goes through Disney characters' astrology signs.
You're kidding.
According to that book, her birthday is February 8th, which makes her an Aquarius.
Oh,
I know. And if you don't know, I'm an Aquarius. And when I tell you that I like this movie, like I came out of the womb and was like, this is my shit.
This is it.
So I think that that's really cool. And we're going to talk more about that because we're going to do a New Year's episode that focuses on astrology and the characters we talk about. So stay tuned for that. So I just wanted to touch on that.
Wonderful. I love that.
She's incredibly clever and she relies heavily on her intuition and her gut instinct. Like, even though everyone is like, no, we're going to fucking do Christmas and it's going to be great. She's like, I don't know. Really. And she stands up for what she believes in. She's like, no, I'm going to, I'm going to stand by it.
Right. And so she has visions. So also.
And she has visions. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. She has precognitive abilities. She can see events in the future.
I love that. So she is a little witchy woman.
She's a little witchy woman.
Yeah.
A little hedge witch, a little kitchen witch, little combo there. And she is like my version of a Disney princess. So like I was never into like, I'm not that girly, and I was never into like the pretty dresses and so like the classic Disney princesses just didn't really fit me or my personality or what I was into. But she was kind of like, she was my Disney princess, and she's a little witch, and I love it so much. So if you do have children out there and you're interested in this kind of stuff, I do suggest it.
Yeah.
I did want to touch on Deadly Nightshade.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm scared.
Why?
Because you're the herb girl, and I keep fucking talking about herbs.
You keep talking about the plants.
I need to knock it off.
Hey, I love it.
Because I'm like talking to the master.
Well, I'm not the master, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad you're talking about plants.
Oh, are you so proud?
I am so proud.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna just touch on it and get your opinion.
Okay.
Here. Okay. So the scientific name is, I'm gonna butcher it, Atropa belladonna. Did I nail it?
You did. Atropa.
Nailed it. It is a feminine plant.
Yep.
And it is associated with the element water. It is part of the, here we go again, the Solanaceae family.
Solanaceae, yep.
Fucking nailed it.
Solanaceae.
Nailed it, bitch. It is, so here's where I want to get your opinion. So everything I read was like, this is poisonous. Don't ever consume it. Don't ever eat it. Don't ever take it internally. Go.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So belladonna, or deadly nightshade, is definitely poisonous.
Okay. Mainly the roots is what I read.
Yeah. So I believe the berry is as well. Not as much, but it's definitely not something, if you are not, I've had people like email in and say, oh, I have belladonna growing and I'm going to use it for this. And I'm thinking, like,
careful.
Unless you are a skilled herbalist, not that it doesn't have its medicinal uses, but it's the dosing. And unless you are a very highly skilled, like I personally myself would not even tinker with belladonna because I haven't gotten to know that plant. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Mostly what I've seen it used for is, but again, it like you have to watch touching it and stuff like that.
Right. It said like don't even mess with it.
Yeah, don't mess it.
Like at all.
Don't mess with it. You always find this plant is in the witch's garden. So with monk's hood and it's like the witch's garden.
So from what I was reading, it was so I just wanted you to confirm basically because I'm not the plant person, but it was saying like do not unless you are a physician or a skilled herbalist. Mess
Correct.
with this plant. Don't touch it because you have to wear gloves. Like there's a whole thing. So I'm going to give you a little bit of like what it is used for. However, listen to what we both just said and don't.
Right.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So my reference here is a website called flyingthehedge.com. And it's actually a really cool website. She goes through a lot, like she's a hedge witch. She goes through a lot of different herbs and it's really cool. We are going to be creating a little spot on our website where we like list all of the references we use in each episode. We're working on that now. Just a little side note. Okay, so Flying the Hedge. The name Belladonna originates from the Latin word Belladonna, meaning beautiful lady.
Right.
I think that's really pretty. I didn't know that. You never told me that.
Well, because you've never been interested in plants.
Okay,
and I
solid
believe, I think we've talked about this because you asked me, it used to be used to dilate the pupils to make women more beautiful, because big pupils were attractive to men to attract the opposite sex. So.
Okay, that's weird, but
and
cool.
I do think optometricians, I think they still use it to dilate the pupils.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Like fucking dilated pupils for men? Okay, but whatever.
Well, right. But I mean, and then for eye exams, they have to dilate the pupils.
Okay. So according to an old saying, belladonna causes anyone exposed to feel hot as a hare, blind as a bat, dry as a bone, red as a beet, and mad as a hen.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Don't f with it.
Right.
Don't f with that, Mac Daddy.
That's correct.
It has been used in sedatives, so it is accurate here, where Sally uses it to knock out Dr. Finkelstein, and in Practical Magic, when she uses belladonna to knock out Jimmy Angelov.
Right, yeah. I've seen it used in balms for flying ointment because it is said to, cause you to hallucinate.
Yeah,
and,
so
leave your body.
Yeah, so magically, I have that it is used for astral projection. Why did I say it like that? Astral. It's used for astral projection and divination. So yeah, it causes you. It kind of knocks you out, but it makes you a little wonky.
Yeah.
So you could kind of tap into astral projection. That's that's cool.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
You had this book called Wicked Plants.
Yes.
Do you remember? So if you're interested in this kind of side to herbalism, I would suggest that book. It was cool.
Did you find some information in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in there. Good little, I think that it's a good little gift.
Yeah.
Good little book.
Yeah.
So besides that, just want to touch on the movie a little bit as a whole. You all know it was created by weirdos and outcasts for weirdos and outcasts. I don't think I have to elaborate on that too much. If you didn't fit in when you were younger or even as an adult, because I know a lot of people found this movie when they were adults, chances are you like this film.
Yeah, right.
Like if you were an outcast, you probably like this film. It is one of the first major full-length stop-motion animated films.
Yeah.
And I swear the number one thing I lack is patience, but if I didn't, I would have gone into stop motion animation. I think that it is so fucking cool. It's fascinating.
Yes. But yet, you have not watched Clash for the Titans.
That is so different. You cannot compare. Again, the music is just incredible. Danny Elfman, you fucking rock. A lot of people think this is a Halloween movie, myself included. It was released around Halloween.
Right.
There are a lot of people that find this to be a Christmas movie. I think that it can be both, really.
Please, I'll watch it during
I'll
both
watch
seasons.
it fucking anytime, so just an excuse for me to watch it again. There is a new Netflix documentary that just came out called The Holiday Movies That Made Us.
Yes.
Where they go through the making of both Elf and The Nightmare Before Christmas, and they tell you about the people that made it, and I really highly suggest it.
Yeah, it was really good.
So good.
Both of them.
Both of them
were great.
But this one really lets you get to know. Tim Burton was more hands-off than I think people know.
I did not know that.
And this kind of teaches you about the people that really made this film, and the artists, and just the passion that it took. Really,
oh my gosh,
it took years to make this movie.
Did they say 3 years or something?
It took a while. So because stop motion animation takes a long time.
What'd they say? I filmed 2 seconds of film
in
today.
2 weeks. So yeah, that's my spiel on Nightmare Before Christmas. It's it's everything good.
It is your all-time favorite.
It is. I love it so much.
You love it.
So there
you had
go.
a Nightmare Before Christmas blanket. You have mugs. You've got all that.
I've got it all, man. I've got action figures. My wrapping paper. I always pick out my wrapping paper, and this year I picked out a little Jack Skellington wrapping paper.
You did with Santa hats.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch it. If you have kids that are into this kind of stuff, I would highly suggest it. And that is my spiel.
Woohoo!
Woo woo! And hey, guess what?
What?
Because it's Christmas, you guys get an ad-free episode. So no hearing from a sponsor today.
Awesome. I get to jump right in.
You just get to jump right in, girl.
Girl, that's awesome.
All right, your turn.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I know you do because you know my all-time favorite Christmas movie.
I do.
Yes. So I today am talking about Bell Book and Candle.
Oh, I'm really excited.
When we said that we were going to do a podcast, this was the very first movie that I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm doing. Because it is my favorite movie of all time. And I was trying to recollect when I was researching, when did I find this movie? How long have I been watching this? How long have I loved it? And I don't know how I found this movie, but I freaking love it.
Yeah, you've been playing it ever since I can remember, so.
Yeah, and a lot of people I don't think there are a lot of people that have seen this.
I would agree with that.
But there is a lot of films that have been made that have been inspired by this movie.
Okay.
And I also feel like people that maybe kind of have seen it or know about it are probably thinking like, why is that your favorite Christmas movie? But we're going to go into that.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so Bell Book and Candle, strap it in.
I'm strapped in the coaster. I'm ready to go.
Woo! All right, 1958.
Okay.
American comedy / drama romance.
Love it.
Love it. Based on the 1950 play with the same name by John Van Druten.
Okay.
Right on.
I like the way you said that.
There you go. Druten. Here's the cast. This is a stellar cast.
Okay.
So if you love old movies like I do, and you teeter. Sometimes you do. Yeah. So Kim Novak plays Gillian Holroyd, and she is secretly a witch.
What?
I know. James Stewart plays Shep Henderson, and he is a publisher. Jack Lemmon, who is so great in this movie, plays Nicky, and he is Gillian's brother, and he's a warlock. Ernie Kovacs plays Sidney Rutledge, and he writes books about witches.
Love it.
And Hermione Greengold, remember we talked about her, because that's where the character of Hermione came from, plays Bianca DePass. And Elsa Lanchester plays Queenie, who is Gillian's aunt.
Okay.
She is also a witch.
Love.
So I ended up, of course, finding little tidbits. But, she's most famous for The Bride of Frankenstein. She plays the Bride of Frankenstein, Elsa Lanchester.
Okay.
And she was actually married to Charles Laughton from 1929 until 1962, until he died. So they were married. That's unheard of in Hollywood.
Oh, really?
But Charles Laughton was the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm there.
That's a cool Hollywood pairing. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Cool little fun fact.
Yeah, I liked it.
Pull that out the next time you're playing Trivial Pursuit.
I'm a gas at parties. a youthless. Ouch.
A slip.
Useless. Youthless, yeah. Where has my youth gone?
Where has my youth gone?
Useless, I don't even know.
Hey,
what I was
look,
like.
now you're the host. It's
Now I've
not
lost my mind.
useless. Well, we have been told that our little facts are useless by a lot of people
Useless
close to
knowledge.
us, too.
Yeah.
And hey, joke's on you, motherfuckers.
I knew I'd get to use it at some point.
There you go.
All right, so here's the plot of this wonderful movie.
Give it to me.
All right, 1950s Greenwich Village. Gillian Holroyd is the owner of a rare African art store. Secretly, she is a witch, and she's feeling very unsettled and bored.
What? Are you kidding me?
Dude.
Are you f***ing serious? Did I not just say that about Jack Skellington? What the f***?
She's feeling very unsettled and bored with her routine life. Oh, that's so funny.
Oh my
Every
God.
time.
Why
Every
are we
time.
like this?
We don't even try.
Oh, okay.
She takes an interest in her new upstairs neighbor, Shep Henderson, and on Christmas Eve, Shep arrives home to discover that Gillian's Aunt Queenie is snooping around inside his apartment.
The f***.
Offended that he is not happy with her presence there, he kind of scoots her out, and she decides that she's going to place a hex on him.
Oh.
And she hexes his telephone, so every time he tries to make or get a call, it just sounds like... And so he decides he's going to have to go downstairs and ask Gillian if he could borrow her phone.
Uh-oh, is it a meet cute?
It is a meet cute. They discuss the best-selling book that just happens to be sitting on her table called Magic in Mexico by Sidney Rutledge.
Okay.
And he tells her that he's a publisher and he's been wanting to meet Sidney and, talk about publishing his next book. So as Shep leaves, Queenie invites him to the Zodiac Club, which is where they all hang out.
Oh,
I love that. I've always loved the name of that
Zodiac
club.
Ooh.
And because Queenie was snooping through all of his personal belongings in his apartment, she tells Gillian that Shep is actually engaged. But encourages her to pursue him anyway using magic.
Oh, okay.
Queenie. So that night, Shep decides he is going to go to the Zodiac Club, and he brings his fiancée, Merle Kittredge. Yes, to the club to meet Gillian, Queenie, and Gillian's warlock bongo playing brother, Nicky. And oh my gosh, him playing the bongos. It's like
Warlock Bongo. New band name called it.
He's definitely a beatnik. But Gillian recognizes Merle as an old college enemy.
Wait, is she a witch?
Who, Merle?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I haven't seen this in a while.
No. So all bets are off.
Okay.
So now,
whether
whether she liked Shep or not, she's going to go for it because she hates Merle.
The whole woman-on-woman thing, man.
I think, Merle used to torment her in college.
Oh, well.
Because she didn't like to wear shoes. Is that the weirdest thing?
She didn't like to fucking wear shoes.
Gillian didn't like
First
to
of
wear
all,
shoes.
it's none of your business.
I don't like to wear shoes either. So returning to Gillian's apartment, the Holroyds exchange gifts, and Nicky gives Gillian an enchanted liquid with which they attempt to summon Sidley Rutledge. Sidley. Sidley.
I was like, wait,
What?
who's that?
Yeah, the author.
Okay.
So Shep knocks at the door. For what reason, we don't know. Nicky and Queenie decide to leave, and Shep announces that he and Merle are going to elope the next day. And Gillian decides to use her cat and familiar, Pyewacket, to cast a love spell on Shep, who becomes immediately enamored with her.
We talked about love spells in the patron-only episode. This is a no-no.
We did. And we also have to talk about the fact that we had a cat named Pyewacket.
We did. I loved that cat.
And it came from this movie. I remember going to I was antique shopping at Christmas time. This is no lie. And they had found the stray cat and they couldn't keep it in the store.
He
and
was
so I
cute and sweet.
took him home and named him Pyewacket. But Pyewacket did not. He was a wanderer.
He wanted to be free, man.
He sure did.
But you want to know something even funnier? My grandmother didn't understand
Oh my God.
the word, didn't
Pyewacket.
understand the name Pyewacket and legit thought its name was Tallywhacker. So would just call the cat Tallywhacker. Hilarious.
Dirty.
So there's 2 cat name ideas for you.
Pyewacket or Tallywhacker.
Your choice, man.
Either one. Golden. All right. So after spending a night on the town with Gillian, he breaks up with Merle. And Merle is like, what the
is going on?
Reveling in her romance with Shep, Gillian is torn when he proposes to her.
He's under a love spell.
Within 24 hours, let's get married. But here's the kicker. Witches lose their magic if they fall in love.
Again with that?
Yes. Crazy? What is that?
Okay.
but she agrees to marry him.
Oh, no.
In the meantime, Sidney Rutledge shows up at Shep's office, having been magically compelled to be there. He says he's writing a book about witches in New York.
Great.
That's his next book.
Fantastic.
And of course, Shep was like, I'll publish that. And oblivious, Shep introduces him to the Holroyds. And so now Nikki is intrigued because everything coming out of this guy's mouth, who's supposed to be an expert in witches, is like pure crap.
He doesn't know what he's
so
talking about.
Nikki's like, ooh, well, this is a way for me to, I'm gonna start making me some money. He's
Make
like,
some dough.
He's like, hey, listen, I'll be your side guy. I'll get you into, all the inner circles
really going
and
on.
what's really happening if I get half of the
All right.
proceeds of the book, right? Mm-hmm. So that is a big no-no in the witch community because, in the 1950s, you did not tell people you were witches and you certainly did not allow outsiders into the circle. So Gillian and Nikki get into a big fight and they argue about exposing their world in a book. And she uses her magic to make Shep lose interest in publishing the book.
Okay.
And so now Nikki is pissed and he's going to tell Shep that she cast a spell to make him fall in love with her. So,
I'm dramatically taking a sip of my hot
did
toddy.
you?
I'm
right?
intrigued.
Are you intrigued? So instead of, having to deal with that, she just tells him. Gillian tells Shep. And of course he thinks she's, crazy. He's like, that's absurd, right? But Queenie convinces him that, she lays the story out and he's like, oh, great. So he thinks that she enchanted him just to get back at Merle.
Okay.
And Gillian is...
Partially true. No.
You're right. Gillian is heartbroken. So Nikki brings Shep to Bianca LaPace, who is the head witch. She's the head witch and the owner of the Zodiac Club. And she brews up a potion to break the spell. And I love this part when he has to drink the potion. It's so hilarious. So the bottom line is that Gillian actually fell in love with Shep. How do we know? Because
She lost her f***ing magic.
she lost her magic when Pyewacket rejects her. He leaves her because he's no longer her familiar because she's no longer a witch. She's human because she can now cry.
Okay. Now hold on.
Proof that she's in love and no longer a witch. Shep realizes that Gillian really loves him, and the movie ends with a passionate kiss and an embrace. And she's now human and has given up her witchiness.
Why you always got to give up your fucking power to be with a man? You
I
know what
know.
I'm saying? As I look at my loving husband over
Right.
there, I'm like, what the f***?
And her African art shop turned into like a frickin' seashell shop. And it was like, what? Like in the beginning, it was all like cool and,
Mystical.
mystical. And then it was like she was selling frickin' she-shells. She-shells.
She-shells.
She sells she-shells down by the seashore.
Nailed it.
So,
Okay. Love it, but also not love it.
Right. Now think of the time, 1950s, right? Mm-hmm. But, so we talked about this in the Bewitched episode. This is one of the movies that, spurned Bewitched.
Right.
Spurned. I don't think that's the right
Spawned?
word. Spawned. Spurned. Oh my God. Again.
Going with Spawn.
Do I speak English? I don't know. Sometimes when I listen back to these episodes. So this, I have a huge pet peeve with this movie.
Oh, no.
Even though I love it.
Okay.
And it was in my research, I got some answers.
Okay,
so
I'm ready.
This is considered Jimmy Stewart's final role as a romantic lead.
Jimmy Stewart. Okay.
Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life. Another one that you don't like.
I used to go to school at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, and there was a fucking Jimmy Stewart museum.
Because that's where he's
I
from.
know,
He's
but
from
like
there.
he had a whole museum.
His dad his parents had a hardware store in Indiana, and that's where he was from. Yeah.
Hold on. Got a little shred of my stick.
Oh no, he got some shred of cinnamon. So this was considered his final role as a romantic lead. Stewart himself felt that he was miscast in this role, and I mean he's a great actor, but he celebrated his 50th birthday while he was filming this movie.
Okay.
And Kim Novak was 25. So he even was like, my leading ladies are like half my age. So like he was the one that was like, dude,
Now, hold on.
And I'm out. That's always my pet peeve in these kind of movies. When
I
you look at the
know.
Audrey Hepburns with Fred Astaire, and it's like, holy crap, so much younger.
These old fucking old as dirt men. That's
Right.
mean.
His leading ladies were getting younger and younger. And so after this, he kind of went for father figure type roles moving forward, which
Okay.
probably was, kind
Probably
of
made
smart.
sense. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So, Pie Wacket,
Pyewacket.
played by Pie Wacket. The cat was mostly, there was a few cats. One was named Houdini, but Pie Wacket was mostly played by Kim Novak's real life cat, Pie Wacket.
Aw.
And I found this out that Pie Wacket was actually a historical reference to a real life cat associated with witch hunting. So Pie Wacket was one of the familiars of an alleged witch accused by the Witchfinder General Matthew Hopkins in March of 1644 in the town of Manningtree, Essex, England.
Wow.
So Pie Wacket was a real cat. The fact that she knew that, like she
That's pretty
knew
cool.
that historical info,
Wow. Okay.
Right?
I love that.
interesting.
That's very
So
cool.
she had a Pie Wacket who was really named after a Pie Wacket, and then we had a Pie Wacket named after her Pie Wacket.
We had a Pyewacket, Tallywhacker, Pyewacket.
So again, I don't know if you know, and I think you might, what Bell Book and Candle, where they got the name for that movie.
I do, but I would love for you to tell me.
Would you?
Yes.
All right. So Bell Book and Candle was actually a ceremony of excommunication dating back to the Catholic Church in the 9th century. So they would perform the ceremony, and the ceremony ended by ringing of the bell, which signified the person who committed the act or the toll of death, a spiritual death.
Okay.
Okay. Then they would close the book, meaning the authority has spoken. And then they would quench the candle, snuffing out the light. And then they would throw down the candle, representing that you are being cast out and condemned to spiritual darkness. So they wanted you to be aware that you were now an outcast, and there were repercussions.
Nailed it.
God dang it!
There were repercussions.
Repercussions of society. So you were cursed,
Right.
basically. And witches or witchcraft, as the church believed them to be, devil worshippers, who should definitely be excommunicated. So Bell Book and Candle tends to connect itself a lot with witches.
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't like that.
Right.
But I like that little story.
yeah, I think it's
interesting.
interesting that it comes from somewhere. And so again, here we are crossing again, because it's basically they're telling you you're an outcast. You don't belong
Yeah.
here. You're not accepted by us because you're different. So
Right.
kind of just what you were talking about, and
Always connecting those
always
dots.
connecting the dots. So release and reception. This movie was considered a blockbuster by Columbia. It took in $2.5 million at the box office.
Whoa.
And it was released November 11th, 1958 for its world premiere in LA at the Warner Theater. And it played there exclusively until its New York premiere on December 25th. So this is
That's
a real,
cute.
live, legit Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. And in 2006, Disney planned to remake the film.
No.
Starring Alicia Keys as Gillian.
I mean, I like Alicia Keys, but okay.
Yeah.
Just stop remaking things.
I know. It was never made, and Keys dropped out of the role.
Well,
However,
no. What?
I know you've heard this, because I've heard tell that maybe Hillary Burton Morgan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan might remake this, and that, my friends,
She
I would
said
watch.
that they would, like, that she would want to do that. I don't think that was like a legit thing, but hey,
if you guys remade it, I'd be down with that.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
I would totally be down with
I'd
that.
be down with that. So that is my love of Bell Book and Candle.
That's beautiful.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I think that. So it's kind of like I was just talking about with Nightmare Before Christmas. The people we've talked to have either seen this and love it, or they've never heard of it.
Right.
Like there's not an in between of like, yeah, it was okay. No, it's
Yeah.
either you love it and you're all about it, or you've never heard of it.
I feel like a lot of people have not seen this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good one to bring up.
And again, when we were talking about like Bewitched in whenever that came out in the 60s, being like so ahead of its time talking about a witch. So look at this movie in 1958. Like that just was not something,
Right.
you know. So the fact that this whole movie, you know,
revolved
around it. And she was just so pretty, and her hair was like gray, but
she was very mysterious.
Very mysterious. She wore the red cloak and just very classy looking.
Right.
They said she put a tint of lavender dye in her hair to make herself look even more mystical.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
I'm
like
gonna try that.
platinum lavender. I'm gonna put some in my hair. Meow.
You should.
I should, huh?
Oh my god.
Ooh,
You'll
neat.
be totally mystical.
There you go.
We'll appeal to them Ruth Thatchers. Ruth Thatchers. I tried to get it out.
I know a Thatcher, and her name is Ruth.
Ruth can thatch my roof anytime. Jesus.
Ruth Thatcher Ginsburg.
Jake is great at the
Is that too
mashups.
soon? No, I don't even care. That's a good one. Oh, shit. I need to make a shirt.
Right.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
great.
up top.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
So that is our
I really, truly think, I think you'll like 90% of what we talk about here, but if you have made it this far on our podcast, you will love Bell Book and Candle.
it's such a good one.
Obviously, because of the time period, you know,
Yeah.
witches having to give up their power to be with a man is bullshit, but take
Right.
that away.
Yeah, it's cute.
It
It
is.
really is
It's
cute,
cute.
movie. I love it. I love it.
Beautiful. Mwah.
And we're going to watch it. That's going to be
We're going to watch it on Christmas Day.
Yes.
We're going to watch Krampus, and we're going to watch...
Yes, Bell Book and Candle.
Yeah, because if I make everyone in this room watch Nightmare Before Christmas again, they might murder me.
We just watched it like 2 days ago.
And what is your problem with that? I want to watch it again.
She's like, I'm ready.
I'm ready, bitches.
Cue it up.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. With that, it's time for Killer Quote of the Week.
Yes.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. All right, mine is. Are you ready for this one? This kind of hurts.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, no. Why are you patting me like...
Okay. Sometimes the people you wanted to be part of your whole story were only meant to be part of a chapter.
Oof.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow, really tugging on them heartstrings. And that was sent in by my best friend in the whole world, Philip Mim.
Oh, Philip Ma'am.
Philip Mim, you're part of my whole story, pal.
That's right.
All right.
All right. Is this year over yet? From Tales from in the Broom Closet. Girl, I am right there with you. Yes.
Yes, so this is our last episode of 2020.
Yes. Oh my gosh, how are you feeling about that?
So, in terms of 2020, I'm like, goodbye.
Light that bitch on
I
fire.
am ready to do our little New Year's ritual and goodbye.
Yeah.
Thank you for the lessons I've learned in 2020, but I'm ready for the new ones. So long, good night. But a lot of good things came out of this year.
Yep.
We wouldn't have, we started Uncle Bob's this year.
We started Uncle Bob's. We moved across the country.
Yeah.
We both started school. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of good things came out of it, and I hope that you guys can, stop
Yeah.
and reflect. And even though this year has been really hard for everyone, I hope you can,
And while we're at it, I mean, let's give a huge, huge, much deserved applause to Mr. Jacob over there, because without him, kids, we would not be doing what we're doing, because he is a pro and he works so freaking hard.
Yeah, guys, he really is the mastermind behind this whole operation. So everyone, yay, clap
Yay,
for Fact Check
Jacob.
Jake.
Thanks, guys.
Yay. Yay. Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed this year so far. We've got so many more cool things planned for the next year. We hope to be doing this, for many
And
years
as soon
to
as
come.
the world opens up, girl, we are hitting the fucking road.
We're hitting the road and we're going to come see you guys. Yeah, a lot of cool things are coming. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I mean, we'll see you in the New Year's, guys.
Yeah, we will. So for now, TTFN.
All right, cut, print, check the gate. Moving on.